What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Wrestlescope. We're diving into all the chaos, excitement, and breaking news in the world of pro wrestling, straight from this week's early edition of WWE Raw in Australia to major updates on Seth Rollins, the Dudley Boyz, and even John Cena. If you're a true wrestling fan, you're going to want to stick around for all of this. Make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications so you never miss a drop of wrestling content. We post daily. Also, follow us on Facebook for exclusive updates and behind-the-scenes insights. All right, let's jump right into it. This week's Raw came from Australia, and as always, we're not here to recap every segment. We're here to break down the good, the bad, and anything downright ugly if there is any. Starting things off on a high note, the show opened with The Vision. Now, I know some fans might be tired of the faction leading off every week, but this time it worked. Coming off Crown Jewel, it made sense to let that storyline breathe a bit. Seth Rollins opened the show by showing respect to both Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, even kissing Paul Heyman on the head, which was unexpected, but made for a wild moment. The next standout moment had to be the match between Dominic Mysterio and Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. A unique crowd dynamic made this match special. In a total role reversal, Penta got booed heavily while Dominic was cheered like a hometown hero. The match itself was stellar, and the finish had a classic heel touch. Dirty Dom channeled his inner Eddie Guerrero again, using a hammer to secure the win. Now, he's set to reignite his feud with Rusev, who's been made the #1 contender. And if that wasn't enough, there are strong rumors swirling that Dominic might be facing John Cena at Survivor Series. That could be historic, because if Cena wins, he finally becomes a Grand Slam champion, capturing the one title that has always eluded him, the Intercontinental Championship. Fans are hyped, and rightfully so. WWE continued building momentum toward the women's division with a great TV match between Rhea Ripley and Kairi Sane. There's real buzz that this could all be leading to a major War Games match next month involving the Kabuki Warriors and more stars from the women's division. The storytelling here has been strong, focused, and character-driven, and hopefully WWE keeps pushing that direction. This feud is one of the most engaging storylines in the company right now. Another big takeaway was the continued push of Bronson Reed. This week, he got a clean win over Jimmy Uso. That's no small feat, especially considering he's also defeated Roman Reigns recently. WWE is clearly grooming Reed for bigger things. And the main event twist? Absolute insanity. CM Punk won a #1 contender match, but the bigger story was what happened after. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker turned on Seth Rollins, officially breaking up the Vision. Raw ended with Breaker holding the world title high in the air, a moment no one saw coming. WWE's ability to pull off a major swerve like that right after the closing credits is unmatched. They've used that trick a few times over the years, most notably with CM Punk's original return, and it never fails to hit. There was some negative, though. One major letdown was the absence of the tag team champions Judgment Day. With titles that are supposed to represent the top of the division, their presence on the show is crucial. But it looks like WWE heard the complaints loud and clear, because it was announced that Judgment Day will defend their titles next week against AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Many fans are hoping this leads to a title change. Judgment Day holding those belts has become more of a curse than a creative choice at this point. Overall, though, there was nothing on the show that could be called downright ugly. From great matches to surprising turns and a hot Australian crowd, Raw delivered. The energy in the arena elevated everything, and the unexpected breakup of the Vision added an extra jolt to the night. No one predicted that turn. It was shocking in the best way possible. Now, let's dive into some of the biggest news stories making waves across the wrestling world right now. First up, a serious situation brewing. WWE might be facing some major legal trouble. This all stems from the new royalty system since TKO took over. Kevin Nash recently spoke out, claiming the royalty payments have been messed with, and he's even considering legal action. He's not alone. Stevie Richards also chimed in, saying he hasn't received a royalty check in nearly 10 years. According to Richards, he's planning to contact WWE Talent Relations directly to ask if he's owed anything. He mentioned that royalty payments in the wrestling business are notoriously tricky and are based on net profits instead of gross revenue. That means operating costs get deducted first, and what's left is divided among the talent, often leaving them with mere scraps. Richards even said forensic accounting could reveal just how deep this issue goes. If more legends like Sean Waltman and others from the NWO era join Nash's push, WWE might have a serious legal problem on their hands. Next, a possible main roster call-up has been scrapped. Javon Evans, who's impressed many with his work on SmackDown, is now back in NXT. During a recent podcast, Evans admitted he wasn't sure if he was ready for the main roster spotlight just yet. At only 21 years old, he wants to continue learning in NXT before making that permanent jump. Honestly, that's a smart move. Evans has shown potential, and WWE needs young stars for the future. If he keeps building his skill set, he could become a cornerstone of the company for the next decade. There's often criticism that WWE doesn't invest in youth enough. Evans might be the exception. Now here's something that fans have been pushing for: referees being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Mike Chioda recently spoke out, saying referees like Joey Marella deserve recognition. He mentioned Marella's incredible contributions before his untimely death and hopes Triple H and WWE management will seriously consider it. With legends like Earl Hebner and Charles Robinson also in the conversation, it's about time referees got their due. Moving on to something that confused a lot of fans online, that viral John Cena photo with what looked like his stunt double. Sorry to break the illusion, but that image was AI generated. The original photo featured UFC fighter Jack Della Maddalena, and AI was used to make it appear as if Cena was standing next to an older version of himself. The internet was fooled. Again. It's a good reminder to double-check these too-good-to-be-true photos floating around social media. Speaking of Cena, let's go back to Seth Rollins for a moment. This week, Rollins was spotted walking around Perth wearing a sling on his left arm. He was even holding an ice cream in his other hand in a widely circulated photo. Now this has fans wondering if he's legitimately injured, especially after that brutal match at Crown Jewel against Cody Rhodes. It's very possible he tweaked something during that coast-to-coast move. But Rollins has a history of working fans when it comes to injuries. Remember when he faked the knee injury before cashing in Money in the Bank? So right now, we're in wait-and-see mode. Still, considering he was written off with that shocking betrayal on Raw, this could be WWE's way of giving him some time to recover, if the injury is real. Last night was a big one for nostalgia fans. The Dudley Boyz officially retired from wrestling at TNA's Bound for Glory. After facing off against the Hardy Boys one last time, Bully Ray and Devon removed their boots in the ring, a traditional sign of retirement in wrestling. The moment was emotional, especially for Jeff Hardy, who was visibly moved. These two legendary teams have been tied together in history since 1999, and this really felt like the closing of a chapter. Adding to that emotional moment, Spike Dudley, now known as Brother Runt, made a surprise return to accompany Team 3D. He's long retired and now works as a financial advisor, but this was a moment he couldn't pass up. And to wrap it all up, TNA crowned a new world champion. At Bound for Glory, Mike Santana defeated NXT's Trick Williams in front of the largest TNA crowd in history. Before the main show, Mickie James and the Beautiful People were inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame. James especially got tons of love online, with fans calling for her to be added to WWE's Hall of Fame as well. It's clear the WWE TNA partnership is paying off big time. The show was well received, and with record attendance, this could be the beginning of a major resurgence for TNA. That's going to wrap it up for today's video. What did you think of Raw this week? Were you shocked by the breakup of the Vision? And do you think Seth Rollins is actually hurt or just working the fans again? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be reading and replying to as many as I can. Thanks for watching Wrestlescope. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss out on any more breaking wrestling content.